जय कुंजवी जय गोपीजनवल्लभ जय गिरिवरारी जय गिरिवरहारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभ जय गिरिवरहारी जय गिरिवरहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज यशोदानंदन यमुना तीरा यमुना तीरा जय राधा माधव जय सुंदर जय राधा माधव जय सुंदर जय राधा माधव जय सुंदर हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा माई सुभद्रा जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव Jai Subhadra Maya Sudarsana, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra Maya Sudarsana, Jagannath Swami Nayana Pataga, Nayana Pataga Mudhusuya, Jagannath Swami Nayana Pataga, Nayana Pataga Mudhusuya. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Patita Pavana, Srila Prabhupada, Patita Pavana, Srila Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Patita Pavana, Srila Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Patita Pavana, Srila Prabhupada, Patita Pavana, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. I think some devotees will join, but we will slowly start. I suggest in the interest of time. So, welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam class on the Zoom platform associated with ISKCON Seshadripuram. So, today I have been instructed to discuss on the sloka number 5 and 6 of chapter 25th, third canto. We'll slowly start. I'm just projecting the sloka. Fifth shloka, 25th chapter, third canto. मैत्रेय उवाच पितरि प्रस्थिनारण्यं मातु प्रिय चिकीर्षया तस्मिन् बिन्दुसरे आवासी भगवान् कपिलः किल. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Maitreya uvacha, Maitreya said, Pitari, when the father, prasthite, left, aranyam for the forest, matuhu, his mother, priya chikirsaya, with the desire to please, tasmin, on that, bindusare, lake Bindusarovara. Avat sit, he stayed. Bhagwan, the Lord. Kapilaha, Kapil, killer, indeed. Translation by Simple. Maitreya said, when Kardama left for the forest, Lord Kapila stayed on the stand of Bindusarovar to please Devavati. In the absence of father, it is duty of grown son to take charge of his mother and serve her to best of his ability, so that she will not feel separation from the. And it is duty of husband to leave the home as soon as there is a grown son to take charge of his wife and family. That is the Vedic system of household. One should not remain continually implicated in the household affairs up to the time of death. He must leave family affairs and the wife will be taken charge of. Next shloka, sixth shloka. Tamasinam karmanam tattva margagra darshanam sasutam devatya devahutya dhatu samsmarti vachaha. Translation by what one meaning? Tam, to him, Kapila. Asinam, seated. Akar, manam, at legend. Tattva, at the alternative. Marga, agra, the ultimate goal. Darshanam, who could show. Swa, sutam, her son. Devavati, he. Devavati, aha, said. That dhatu of the of sansmarti, remembering. Vacha, the words. Translation was. When Kapila, one who could show her the ultimate goal of absolute truth, was sitting leisurely before her. Devavati remembered the words Brahma had had spoken to her, and she therefore began to question Kapila as follows. There is no purport for this, so we'll go back to the detailed discussion. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टां स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदां ददाति स्वदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपां साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तस्य साद्वैतं सार्वभूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्री राधा कृष्ण पदम सगण ललिता श्री विशाखावितं तस्य हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपीश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शिवानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते जय पताका स्वामिनिति नामिने नमो आचार्य पदाय निताय कृपा प्रदायिने गौर कथा धर्म तारिणे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे। सो मैत्रेय उवाच पितरि प्रतिस्त्यारण्य मातु प्रिय चिकीर्ष्या तस्मिन् बिन्दुसरे आवासी भगवान कपिल. That is, Maitreya said, when Kardama left for the forest, Lord Kapila stayed on the strand of Bindu Sarovar to please his mother Devavati. Hare Krishna. So, a little bit disturbance will be there while speaking. So, this is a conversation between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. When Vidura is inquiring about pastimes of Lord, Maitreya Muni is telling all the pastimes. And he is narrating the story of Lord Kapila's appearance. Pastimes of Lord Kapila's appearance. Devavati is Lord Kapila's mother, and Kardama Muni is wife. Kardama Muni was one of the Prajapati. And he married to Devavati, and it was, of course, Kardama Muni was a like sort of mendicant, but he expressed somehow desire to support, give service to the Lord in terms of continuing the progeny creation, because this is at the starting of creation. That's why he's Prajapati. And then Lord, he did good tapasya, and Lord got satisfied, and he said, okay, I will give you all the necessary strength and requirement to expand the progeny. And then it was predicted also, by Lord, that you will get a son who will be, deliverer of the mankind, and he will propagate the scientific philosophy with Lord himself. And is Lord Kapila or Kapila Muni. Okay, there is one more Kapila in the later years where he was at least Kapila. So we should not confuse. This is our Kapila is Lord Kapila, incarnation of Lord, where he gave the Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy is nothing but it's a philosophy. It's a it's elemental analysis of the overall spirituality, and ultimately it culminates into devotion. So it analyzes everything at elemental level, 24 element, who are you, mind, intelligence, ego, and then how we are connected to this creation and Lord and Prakriti and all those things. So That's the Sankhya philosophy. And Lord gave that philosophy. Essentially, it's a devotional yoga, bhakti yoga, but it is put in a little bit in detailed way. That's Sankhya by Lord Kapila. So he was to come as a part of his pastimes, and he came with a couple of devotee and Kardamuni. So this was a discussion between Vidura and Maitreya Muni is explaining Vidura. And of course, this is a part of Srimad Bhagavatam which is getting explained by Shukadeva Goswami to the Parikshit. And in turn, this was narrated by Shusuta Goswami to sages of Naimisharanya, headed by Rishi Shaunaka. So this chapter starts with Shaunaka Rishi discussing and asking more to the Sutta Goswami about his pastimes, what he heard from the Shukadeva Goswami, which ultimately Shukadeva Goswami is narrating the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya Muni, and that is about Kardama Muni, devotee and Lord Kapila. So here, in this context, Kardama Muni has already left for the forest after the completion of his household duties, maybe at the age of 50 or so, whatever. Okay. Why? Because that's a Varnasrama system. Kardama was mendicant anyway, but he entered into Grostha life. And then Devavati served him. She got 9 daughters and one son is out. 9 daughters, they gave it to various Prajapatis for the progeny creation. And Devavati then expressed a little bit dissatisfaction. I'll not call it dissatisfaction, a little bit sadness, where she was a bit worried. When Kardama lives, daughters are born, who will take care of her? Yeah, when I said take care of her, doesn't mean bodily only, soul. And especially, and then she was having a little bit repentance also on dealing with this material world, and she was sort of getting on the path of detachment. And she was expressing, this is the material world. I have been engrossed into sense enjoyment. Of course, she was not really engrossed into sense enjoyment, but these are the great souls who represent us like common soul. And hey, so she was telling you who will guide you on those after Kardama leaves, after husband leaves, who will take care of her. It's always an important consideration for that. And in Varnasrama system, this is very well addressed. Varnasrama system is so original Vedic, so original Dharma. Original Dharma, Vedic Dharma is Varnasrama. That's our Vedic culture. Years back it was there. Now it got destructed, or it got almost disassembled, dismantled due to effect of Kali Yuga. Anyway, but this was at the start of Desha, it was clear. So Kardama Muni was to live after and he was detached soul. Devotee also was detached, but she was sort of trying to develop the detachment so that not to remain attached with material world. Why? Because detachment is very important. It is stressed in our Vedic culture. Detachment from the material world. Means what? Means detachment means removing the attachment for various activities in material. What it means and why it is important. So, for example, we are attached to sense enjoyment, right? And that's why we are in material world. That's why Lord has created this material world. That so that living entity get chance to satisfy his sense enjoyment tendencies, which is not very good tendency, but is so merciful. It gives us that facilitation and says that okay, you enjoy the so-called senses, but ultimately Lord gives the system which is Varnasrama system, so beautifully designed. Of course, he gives literatures like some Bhagavad Gita, Vedic literature, Puranas. There are so many literatures they have given, which you can read and develop that detachment, understand the fertility of this material world, and start slowly getting detached from it. That's the whole purpose of Vedic civilization, Varnasrama system. So it was so designed. But then question comes why we should develop that detachment. That's what we are discussing. Because we are attached to sense enjoyment, we are then sense enjoyment since we are attached to sense enjoyment, then we get attached to karma, because to enjoy senses we need karma. We have to do the karma, get a fruits. Fruits are nothing but ultimately culminates into sense enjoyment. We get money, we get this, we get that, all para in India. By doing karma, karmic activities which are meant for sense enjoyment, these are all called karma, karmic activities. And once you get attached to sense enjoyment, attached to karma, results of the karma phala, once you attach to that, you perennially remains in this material world, because next birth you will take based on our consciousness at the time of quitting the body. So we keep developing the consciousness of this sense enjoyment, which is almost getting into the animalistic, animal level consciousness, because animal doesn't have higher consciousness except ahara bhaya nidra maya. Four consciousness, I'm sorry, four activities animal consciousness will have. Ahara bhaya. Ahara means eating. Bhaya, nidra. Bhaya means fear, self-defense. Nidra, sleeping. Bhaya means sense enjoyment. So animals are at this platform because they are already degraded, and it's a evolution. It goes on. Evolution means we get 84 lakh species. Human species is one of the species. Demigod species. There are higher species, but lower species are animal. And we keep getting, sort of pushed into these various species one after another birth. And we keep enjoying so-called sense enjoyment, keep remaining attached to this, and we never come out. But there is a chance in human life, in the form of human life, which we get in cyclic way, where we can question the status quo of what is happening to us, our soul. Why we are in 84 lakhs species, rotating ups and down, and not coming out of this material world. What is mean by coming out of material world? Material world is characterized by karma, karma phala, sense enjoyment, all that vicious circle, and janma mrityu jara vyadhi. It's all characterized by all these sufferings. But we feel we are enjoying, but actually it's suffering. Essentially it's a suffering. And since it is suffering, we don't understand this in animal life. If you go by animal life, if you see any animal, they eat each and everything, they do anything, and they don't have that sense that we are suffering. Animal is eating any nonsense thing, but they don't have that understanding that as suffering. Human being can see, what a precarious life it is. They are not getting proper food. They are being driven away, chased. They have to eat whatever it, and then but they enjoy sort of, but we understand that they are not enjoying their suffering. But this we can understand in human life only. But it's not only question of understanding animal suffering, animal life. We have to understand our suffering also, human life suffering. So here we should understand, yes, I am also suffering. Even though it's a human body, little bit better, but still it is suffering only. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi is there. We may do eating, sleeping, depending in a little bit sophisticated way, but suffering is essentially part of it. Why? Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. If there is a janma mrityu jara vyadhi, how there can be happiness? It's very common sense, right? Common sense. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi cannot give you happiness, because even though whatever happiness is there, it will get wiped away. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. Simple. So we need to understand in human life that no, this is not a permanent life. This is not a life of human being. This is not a my nature where we get into sense enjoyment. Our nature is Satchidananda. There must be some higher life. That is what nothing but going back to spiritual life, spiritual world, Vaikuntha Lokam, where there is no anxiety, there is nothing Janma Mrityu Jara. It's all eternally bliss, eternally knowledge, eternal, and it's eternal life. That is what in human form of life we should understand. The whole Varnashrama system or Vedic civilization was revolving around helping us human being. Demigods also. Is for higher planet, they will also have Bhagavatam. So they will have also their speech. But ultimately, essence is that whoever can understand, like human being and others, they can go back to God. They can understand the ignorance and understand the real truth and go back to God. That's the whole purpose of That's the whole purpose of human civilization. Vedic civilization. That is Varnasrama. Varnasrama is Varna and Asrama. So four social orders: Varna, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Asrama means Brahmacharya Ashram, Vanaprastha Ashram, Gosthashram, then Vanaprastha Ashram. So here Vanaprastha, Prabhupada brings that. Prabhupada explains. Just will read. In the absence of father, it is the duty of grown son to take charge of mother and serve her to the best of their ability. She will not feel separation. And the duty of husband to leave the home as soon as there is a grown up wife. Grown up son to take care of wife. And this is the Vedic system household. So Prabhupada is mentioning about Vanaprastha. Okay, after the household life is Grosthas. In the Grosthashram, we'll have marriage, we'll have son, daughters, we'll have all that paraphernalia, all sounds, we call it sounds. And then we'll have that material so-called enjoyment. But at age of 50, especially for men, it is recommended that they live the family life. Okay, and get into live means not physically living, they remain with family for up to some years, but they are getting detached. That is called Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha doesn't mean live the, but they keep wife and husband up in the Vanaprastha. They keep traveling to various um, pious or tirthakshatras, various temples, various places, and they develop their spiritual consciousness, helping each other. But the sense enjoyment between husband and wife is practically in the Vanaprastha. It's more of a getting into the next level of the knowledge, next level of the life, where they are focusing on developing the Krishna consciousness. That's the Vanaprastha life. Wife supports husband there also. Husband also supports wife. Husband take care of wife. That still goes. And of course, slowly, as husband more or less practically get detached and physically suppressed. That is in sannyasa. The wife will be taken care by son, daughters, grown up son by that time. Because it is said that in Vedic system, the male has to marry at the age of say 25 years and female also a little bit lesser than that. So that when they reach 50, they have got grown up son and daughter. That's the whole purpose, which is so beautifully designed, right? It's so beautifully designed. But the whole thing is basically the whole Varnashrama system is designed in such a way that husband and wife and later on their family members keep developing that detachment. They should know that it's a temporary material life and we have got our desires. We are going to satisfy those desires, but that's not the ultimate aim. Ultimate aim is to achieve the Lord's mercy, devotion. And slowly they detach from material life. It's a slow process. Because suddenly we cannot stand and start getting detached and go to forest and reject everything. No, that's not possible. In Kali Yuga, definitely it's not possible. So many distractions. We are attached to so many years and years, births and births. We have been attached to sense engine. Our mind is full of sense engine. That is going to trouble us some point of time. So we may feel sometime, oh, I got detached. Okay, fine. But then next moment, mind tells waves comes and we get into sense. So it's not easy to suddenly start doing detachment and rejecting the whole family, this, that, and that doesn't happen. It's a very slow process, but it has to be done under the guidance of Guru Parampara, so that we receive the authorized scriptures, knowledge in the Guru Parampara, and we don't misinterpret, and we take right decision. That's the whole purpose, right? So Varnasrama system is followed under the guidance of Brahmanas, Gurus, who will tell you about your, Guru will tell you about your overall trait and he will guide you, okay, do this. Because we may misinterpret or we may do some mistake. So, but whole idea here is slowly develop the detachment so that at the end of the life, you are not attached to this material world and you don't come back to material world because you are liberated. Liberated is one thing, but you are actually develop that attachment to Lord. So detachment is one part, detachment to material, but attachment to Lord is equally important. That's so Bhakti Yoga. Other yoga is not that way. Adhoroga, there is more of a detachment and then somehow coming out of Janmu to Jaradadi at a neutral platform, but an attachment to Lord Krishna is a Bhakti Yoga, which makes detachment very easy in the material life. That's the whole point. And that's why it's so easy. Bhakti Yoga is Susukham, very, very pleasantly to easy also. That's why we should be very thankful to Prabhupada also to take us to this level of Bhakti Yoga, at least at the start. Then we have to prestige, we have to do a lot of effort, cultivate. So, why detachment is needed? We saw that because we need to develop the attachment to the Lord. So there is both way. If you start attaching to the Lord, you start developing the detachment in you because it's a higher nature. It's a higher, that is your natural root, right? And to avoid lot of fall down or to avoid unnecessary attachment, I mean, we should develop the detachment from material. It's a distraction. So if you are not careful in developing the detachment, we may get engrossed into material life. Maya is so strong, and they may forget you. So that's the whole thing. So both are complementary, but more important is developing attachment. Detachment comes, but we have to have some effort in developing detachment also. That's why we follow four regulative principles and so many other finer principles which Prabhupada laid down as a devotee, right? Because otherwise we'll keep attached. If you don't follow four regulative principles and keep doing those activities, you will remain attached. Mind will get attached to this, and it's difficult to come out. So it's like a catalysis or it's in helping complementary process to develop the attachment to it. That's the whole thing. So detachment is not a prime. Prime is attachment to love, but of course detachment has to be done. It helps in that. So that's the whole thing, right? So we have to see in this way, right? So basically, Varnashrama system. Now in this shloka, in this context, Kardama Muni is following Varnashrama because he is getting to one person. After seeing Lord Kapila has come, he is a grown-up son, he is capable of developing taking care of her mother. And mother wanted guidance, mother wanted protection, mother as a woman. So that's also important. In Vedic civilization, womanhood is taken very much respected and is taken care very delicately. There is agenda nowadays, propaganda, whatever you call, where they say, no, 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 Vedic civilization, you are not taking care of women. That's completely wrong. It's all unscrupulous people are put that way, but that's not the case. Womanhood was taken very delicately, they were handled very delicately. They're taken care by son, husband, father. It's very important that woman is protected in all the circumstances, at all stages of life. So at the soul platform, all are equal. Woman, man, doesn't matter. Soul, always we are equal. But at body platform, there is a difference in the body structure, their mental needs, protection needs. There's a difference. That is what Vedic culture was perfectly leveraging, and that's what the whole system was designed. As simple as that. There's nothing to complicate it. But modern people, or demonic people out there, they'll keep complicating. They'll try to put some wrong understanding and try to create a problem. But that's not the case. Yeah, we should not get into that. We should go by the very scripture where Kardama Muni is following one of us. Devotee wanted protection, mainly she wanted protection, spiritual protection. She wanted to understand more about spirituality. She wanted to understand more about Lord because she was having little bit repentance in her mind that she could not develop the necessary attachment to the Lord due to she getting engrossed into the dosta. Like, so she wanted that guidance also. That's why she prayed to Lord Brahma and Lord Brahma gave her that yes, Lord Kapila will come and he will extract you as a form. Lord Kapila will come as a son and he will instruct you on this spiritual knowledge. And that's the whole current scene is there, where Kardama Muni has left, he has followed one of us. Kapila Muni is taking care of mother, he is following the Grosthas. And he is going to take care of mother. Take care of mother doesn't mean necessarily only the physical needs. Normally, that is also another problem in current civilization, modern civilization. We feel we take care of our parents. Then generally we restrict to, of course, not devotees. Devotees knows, and devotees generally they take care of in a proper way. But I'm saying in general, most of the people they don't have any knowledge on spirituality. They do like this. They feel taking care of parents means physical. Okay, give them food, let them stay, give them clothing. That's all. But that's not the ultimate. They have to take care of mental needs. They need some support. But most important, they need, because they are at the fag end of the life. They need that spiritual enlightenment also, or support too, so that they continue the spiritual enlightenment, right? That's so good. So when we say we support parents, mother or father, it is mainly spiritual. Mentally, physically, anyway will be support. You will support. Why not? Son's duty to support them physically also, mentally also. But more importantly, son's duty is to support spiritually also. They should ensure they are getting sufficient time, they have got sufficient health, you know, strength to continue that spiritual, I mean, bhakti yoga at the end of the life carefully, because they are getting old. So that's one. So Lord Kapilai's example is clear. Of course, he is Lord, he is Leela. It's not like his example. He's demonstrating how we should be by his own Leela. So Lord Kapila is taking care of his mother, and he is sitting in front of mother and instructing her. Then that's whole Sankhya philosophy. And she is asking very relevant question. As we go further, we'll understand how relevant questions and how Lord Kapila have answered many important aspects in the devotional service, Sankhya philosophy. That's the whole chapter further deals with. But but the point here is they are all following Vedic civilization. And the Lord himself is there, he's following the Varnasrama, just to set the example. Lord Kapil is one of the Mahajana, that's how important. So he was as a Mahajana, he was a Lord. So he has to follow just to make sure mass of the people follows Ena Gatasya Mahajana. Ena Gatasya Panta Mahajana, like that. So whatever Mahajanas do, common people follows. So Mahajana, that's why Lord Kapil was Mahajana. So he was following the Vedic civilization. He was taking care of her mother. Right. Then he was setting the example, and he, of course, he has given the philosophy as a part of his will. That's different. Okay. So the problem here is in the current civilization, those issues are not addressed. Many places, parents are not taken care. People marry too late. They have their own problems. Varnasrama, they don't know knowledge of about spirituality there, and they keep struggling at the end of year also, beyond 50 also. Now we see our example. We are still working. Many people work beyond no stop. We retire at 60. Of course, it's okay. In the modern world, we cannot directly go to forest. That's not practical also. That's why Prabhupada, his appearance of Prabhupada and ISKCON is so important. Prabhupada's role in the whole human history is very different, because he came at the juncture of Kali Yuga's effects are coming at full fledged in the modern age, and the whole things are topsy-turvy, Vedic civilization almost lost. Prabhupada came that time, and he has given us a practical system. He's not telling us to go to forest. It's not practical. There is no forest left. Even though there are forests, we cannot go there because they are so unstable. Mind is so unstable. We will not be able to do that anything there. Prabhupada built a temple which are like places where we can develop the detachment, develop the attachment to Lord. Both things are taken care of. That's like a forest, whatever you call, or whatever you call, in the analogy point of view. And we go there, sit in the temple, chant Hare Krishna, take prasadam, interact with devotees, listen about Lord's pastimes, and we are there. You can be with family. That's why all the devotees are with family only. Because Varnasrama system is externally, at least it has got broken. Internally also is getting broken. But Prabhupada has maintained that Varnasrama system in the essence. We are following in essence, because in our ISKCON temple, we get knowledge on a Brahmanical platform also. We try to develop the Brahmanas, Vaishnavas. And For everybody, there is some engagement based on his overall natural inclination to do the service. So it's we are following one national system in a, at least at a very spirit level. In spirit, we are following. At least Prabhupada has given that formula. We have to make sure we follow that. I try to follow maximum. And there are efforts on this side also, where we are trying to have goshalas and so many things, where the actual external part also is manifested, saying that okay, this is the way agriculture go, Kushi go Raksha Vanijam, like that. How much practicality is, and that Prabhupada's mercy will come and it will be done, whatever Lord's want or Prabhupada want, that which will be done. But in essence, we are following this. We should be very clear. Because once we start chanting, forget about 50, age 50. We start chanting right from childhood. That's the whole thing. It's not only at the age of 50 we start developing detachment, we start attaching to know. In Brahmacharya ashram itself, in the age of 25, all the candidate was well trained in spiritual knowledge. He was trained into all martial arts, so-called knowledge, material knowledge, science, and then spiritual knowledge. What is the purpose of life? Who is Lord? What are the various ways? He is trained into that. So, and then in Grustha life also, it is well regulated life. Grustha life. It's always sense enjoyments are regulated. Yes, there is some sense enjoyments are regulated. But the whole focus is to satisfy the Lord in Grustha life also. And Vanajvasa is full pledge. All this. So that is the way we should look at it, and we should follow this. Prabhupada has given us the opportunity to follow this Varnashrama system in a sense. And more importantly, he has given us the final process, bhakti, Navavida bhakti, devotional service, which directly bypasses or surpasses all those Vedic things also. Directly you chant, take a diksha from Guru under the bona fide Guru, you are liberated. Provided we are sincere and we want it. That's so problem comes there. We are still not, we still want to have both places here also. So that it takes time. But anyway, whatever may be the case, because this material current modern age is full of distraction. It's not easy. There will be some distraction, there will be some failure. It's okay. But what we should do is we should continually taking shelter of Guru and Lord. Continually take shelter, continue to take shelter of Prabhupada, devotees, continue doing satsanga, read the Prabhupada's books, Lila, Bhagavatam. Slowly we'll get attached to this. And slowly, so it takes time. But that's the only way in modern world, looking at Kali Yuga's influence, this is simple process. Kalau naste, which is Hare Namu, Hare Namu, Hare Namu. Kalau naste, Gatiram. Lord Chaitanya said that, right? Because all the things are almost getting broken. Varnashrama system is not that much practical, but this is all there. We have got still opportunity to get attached to Lord, get detached from Him, and go back to Godhead. Correct. So this is what the whole Bhagavatam is revolving around. The Bhagavatam want us, all of the living entities, come back to Lord. So all stories in Bhagavatam are linked to this. So the basic purpose is that externally there are some event, there are some conversation. Apparently, sometimes you need to know what is happening. All that is there, but the core purpose is ultimately enlighten the living entities to bring into the lotus feet of the Lord, to the bhakti of the Lord. That's the whole purpose of the Bhagavatam and all Vedic literature. Bhagavatam is directly Vedic literature, indirectly they say. Okay, then there are some karma kanda, this, that also. It's all there because there are millions of living entities. Everybody has got different level of consciousness. Everybody cannot be taking your bhakti immediately. So they have to come through all that process. But then, for Kali Yuga, directly taking the bhakti, taking the chanting of Lord is the simple. And we should take it. As simple as that. So that's the whole, so these are these two shlokas are, we discussed that. So Prabhupada mentions very briefly in the purpose. What is the purpose and how we should strictly follow and so on. But Prabhupada only has given the whole organization where how to do it. And you just follow the Prabhupada's books and we are there. Simple. Right? So that's what I wanted to share. with devotees. So if there are any questions, comments, we can discuss that. Hare Krishna. Any comments, questions we can discuss. Prabhuji could not join today. Generally, I request him to. It's okay. So if there are no comments, questions, I think we can close the session, but any questions still we can. Okay, so I think there are no comments or specific questions. So we will close the session. Thanks for spending your time in the morning and enlightening me to think about Bhagavatam. Thanks. Hare Krishna. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam. Jai Sri Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.